Leaders Eat Last by Simon Sinek. Our jobs are killing us. You may have joked around with a similar phrase. Perhaps your dog got into the trash while you were at the store. Rover, you're killing me. Perhaps your toddler thought the Ajax was baby powder. Susie, you're killing me. Or maybe you thought the report due tomorrow morning was on autosave and you closed it. This job is killing me. But when Simon Sinek says our jobs are killing us, he means it. And he has scientific, biological evidence to back it up. His book, Leaders Eat Last, focuses on human biology, particularly our endocrine system that is responsible for hormone balance and release. Here's the biology lesson in a nutshell. Endorphins, a group of hormones that mask pain and exhaustion and enhance the experience of pleasure. Dopamine, a neurotransmitter hormone that rewards the body with happy excitement when we accomplish something, reach a goal, or answer a stimulus. Serotonin, a mood-regulating hormone. It makes you feel grateful for the people who support you and boosts your confidence. Higher levels of serotonin are connected with feelings of stability, happiness, as well as the ability to focus and think creatively and clearly. Oxytocin. This hormone is released when love is felt, through touch or a noble deed done for us, by us, or even just witnessed. Sinek makes the point that the first two hormones are self-preserving, and we can get them on our own. They are achieving hormones that are supported with stimulus and rewards. Interestingly, they can be very important in business. When you have a quota to reach, a goal to achieve, a time limit in which to complete a task, you push to achieve using endorphins, and success is rewarded with a shot of dopamine. Dopamine can also be addictive. Dopamine affects the brain's frontal lobe and is released when a goal is made. This can be positive. Cross something off your list. Turn in that paper. Earn that reward. It works for negative goals as well. Another drink, another win-win gambling, or even another ding on the cell phone or like on Facebook. Because it's powerful, some businesses use, likely without realizing it, to get peak performance out of employees through perks like bonus checks, reaching levels, or even promotions. But getting these kinds of rewards are often at the expense of resources or relationships. This is quite clear when looking at addictions, but consider a business where everyone is striving for the perk. This is why phrases like dog eat dog and every man for himself get applied to certain environments, toxic environments. According to Sinek, toxic environments lack stimuli that produce the other two hormones, serotonin and oxytocin. These hormones are responsible for acts of self-sacrifice and care for others. They require interaction and relationship. Serotonin is released when you feel belonging and value in a group. Consider parents watching their child receive a plaque at the high school senior awards night. Not only the child feels accepted and important, but the parents feel proud and greatly bonded to the child. Oxytocin is released through positive physical touch, like hugs or a pat on the back. In fact, in our culture, most business deals are sealed with a handshake because the touch itself builds a bond of trust and commitment. So, what does this all have to do with business, leadership, and how our jobs are killing us? Sinek introduces one more hormone, cortisol, to help draw the circle together. Cortisol is the pre-fight or flight hormone. It is released when we are in danger, but it can also be released slowly and constantly when we are in stressful situations. The problem is that immediate release of cortisol turns off certain systems in the body like the immune system. It also inhibits the release of certain hormones, like oxytocin, and a slow, constant release of cortisol slows these systems. When under stress, your immune system is compromised. Your release of oxytocin is inhibited. This is why when we are stressed, it is difficult to respond in a proper way in our relationship and why we tend to get sick easier. Thus, a toxic work environment can grow. When the focus becomes achievement above all else, employees feel threatened. You might not make the quota and your job is in danger. You might get fewer sales than so-and-so, and that will make 3 months in a row that you were the loser, and you can only get the promotion if your neighbor in the office fails. Sure, you push to achieve, paying no attention to the pain and exhaustion you feel, and you get a rush when you get one more lead, one more sale, one more report done before your colleague. The more unsafe people feel in an environment, the more self-centered their behavior becomes. Thus, the environment degrades naturally as those who feel threatened make others feel threatened also. No one feels that they belong, no one feels that they are needed, no one feels loyal. But a look at the military will prove how important those feelings are. You do not rush into danger to save a soldier or a unit just to earn a perk. You confront danger to save someone else because you are the band of brothers. Loyalty, belonging, and responsibility for one another are the feelings that motivate selfless acts. So true leaders in a company are not those that dole out pink slips or perks. This kind of leader builds an environment where the competition isn't on the outside, it is within, and that is stressful and ultimately counterproductive. True leaders are those that inspire loyalty. They make those around them feel like they belong and are important to the company. They make the company feel like the safe place where you can count on one another for backup and support. And this kind of leadership has a trickle-down, even a bubbling over effect. When a leader in an organization is willing to go to bat for you, when the leader is clear that the buck stops here, others in the organization not only respond with a feeling of loyalty, but they are more likely to do the same for someone else in the organization. A teacher, for example, who has been supported by an administrator when criticized by a parent, is a teacher who is more likely to be supportive of others. Whether it is a student, a family, or another teacher experiencing struggle or failure, that teacher is more likely to be there for them. And of course, that teacher would be more likely to explain something the administrator did in the kindest way as well. The same is true of a business that succeeds over time. It can be pictured as a circle of safety with the threats on the outside. Those within the circle protect one another, and the higher you go up in the hierarchy, the more you sacrifice for the protection of others in your circle. Sinek encourages us to be leaders, whether we are at the top of the company or someone filling a cubby on the basement floor. Practical ways of reaching out and changing a work environment include answering an email with an in-person conversation, celebrating successes even if they are not yours alone, and working to reduce stress. While he was serious about jobs that can physically and emotionally kill us, he is also serious about there being a different way to build a successful company and become the leader. The leader is the one who defends the group. The leader gets status from being the one on the line. The leader eats last. And this concludes today's book summary. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support will help us continue pushing out great content. Thank you, and we look forward to seeing you again.